How's it everyone? Welcome to Bait Tactics. I'm a firm believer that big baits help to catch big fish, and the cluster rig is definitely a heavyweight when it comes to big bait presentations. So if you like fishing big baits or want to try something new, the cluster rig is definitely the rig for you. Let's go, buddy! You are going to need some good quality size 2 hooks, and I prefer to use wide gapes or curved shank hooks. Some shrink tubing, a good quality uncoated hook link braid, a good quality stiff boom material. You can use either fluorocarbon or mono, some silicone tubing, some tungsten putty or tungsten beads, some foam and cork sticks, a boilie stop, an anti-tangle sleeve, then your leader system. I like to use at least a 1 meter long lead core leader fitted with a semi-fixed lead clip, but you can use whichever system you prefer. Then your hook baits of choice, and I like to use tiger nuts, maize, peanuts and maple peas. Now decide how big you want your cluster to be, and you can add cork or foam to play around with the buoyancy. Now cut yourself a long enough piece of braid. Create a loop that's a little bit longer than your stack of particles and tie it off with an overhand knot. And if you like videos like these, please help the channel grow by subscribing, liking the videos, and you can also have a chat with me in the comment section. Now leave 3 to 5 millimeters behind your first knot and tie a second knot. You've now created a small little loop between the 2 knots. Now cut off the tag end and cut yourself a small piece of silicone tubing. Slide it onto the braid and slide your hook through it. And on big baits like these, I want the space between my hook and my baits to be at least 15 to 20 millimeters long. And then just finish it off with a knotless knot. Now cut a piece of shrink tube and steam a slight curve in it. This will help your hook point to always turn down. Now cut your boom section, and on big baits like these, I usually make my booms between 20 and 30 centimeters long. Now create a loop in your boom material and pull your braid through all the way up to the tubing. Now neatly wrap your braid around the loop 7 times and then 7 times back on itself again. Now push your tag end back through the loop, the same direction your main line is exiting. Now wet your knot, tighten it down gently and then pull it tight. Now trim both tag ends, and I like to carefully blob them with a lighter. This is called an Albright knot, and it's one of the best knots for tying braid to mono. Always make sure the little piece of silicone on your hook is in the correct position. Adjust it until you find the sweet spot where your hook point is heavy and always wants to fall to the bottom. Then just slip your tungsten bead or wrap your putty over the knot and you're ready to go. Now slip on an anti-tangle sleeve and tie your boom to the swivel on your leader. I use a figure of 8 knot, but you can use any strong knot that you want. Now string your hook baits and cork on the hair And always test your rig in some water. This will help you to find the correct cork placement and the amounts of cork or foam that you are going to need to achieve your preferred buoyancy. Once you are happy with the bait placement on the hair, bend your hair over and pull the main loop through the little loop that you created. Now cut a small piece of foam, slip it over the loop and lock it in with a boilie stop. Your cluster is now secured, locked in solid and ready to target those big fish. Big bait presentations definitely helps you to not just target but also hook the bigger fish. So if you're on the hunt for the biggest fish in the lake, the cluster rig should definitely be in your fishing arsenal. So thanks for all the support, thanks for watching and tight lines.